Hey, in today's video, I'm going to tackle a few weird terms that you might not understand in the commercial photography world. And I'm going to do this because recently somebody in a comment said, I don't really understand what sign-off is. And I just thought of, well, what, sign-off? You know, which obviously isn't of any help. To answer that person's question, sign-off is when the client is happy with the work and they send you a message saying, that's the one we're going to go with, please send over the TIFF. It's sort of a verbal agreement. If they're here, they'll just go, yes, mark that one, please. That's the image we'll have. We're happy with that. Let's progress to the next shot. But let's go into some other terms. Okay, the first one is something I end up doing a lot of, and that's a treatment. Now, the treatment is what the photographer delivers to their agent to deliver to the agency to show to the client. That is long-winded, I know. Basically, we give it to them. And it is a visual book, a bit like a mood board, but we create it from their mood board to show them our vision as to how we will execute their project. Not all shoots require a treatment. Some shoots are going painting by numbers. We do a lot of painting by numbers work where they go, here's an exact idea of what we want, recreate it to the letter. Other times they want my own artistic interpretation of it, and that's when I build a treatment. Very important to get those together. Now, the treatment is obviously based on something called a deck, and the deck is what the agency produce. Now, there's a couple of reasons you might have a deck. One is to sort of pitch it to their client. So there's the photographer here, the ad agency, who's the creative, and the client here, who's the actual brand. And they will use that to give it to them. Then they'll often then give it to us to build our treatment for. It can also be done as like a researchy snapshot kind of thing, but that's more agency side of stuff, not something for us to worry about. But they can go, here's where we are at the moment, here's your current branding package, this is who you are. And often they'll present it in a nice hardback book and do something nice with it because they've probably been paid $500,000 to do so. So the next phrase is ATL, above the line. Now, the next phrase will make this more apparent, but above the line is all the big marketing. When someone goes, can you give us a quote for above the line? You go, yes, I can. Start rubbing your hands like this because this is where the money's made. This is your billboards, your 6-sheeters, all the big advertising, the big sort of sexy adverts. You know, even sometimes on TV, they can often call those something different though. But above the line, if you ever see ATL usage for ATL, that's above the line. You start ticking all the big stuff, all the above the line items. I'll pop a link to the place where you calculate your usage in the description. But yes, above the line is very good. Now, not as good as above the line is below the line, BTL. This is your sort of like flyers going through your door, maybe an advert in a shop window, much smaller stuff, digital boards, point of sale sometimes is below the line. That's a bit of a sits on the tightrope depending on who the client is. This is a much lower usage. You might be getting $8,000 usage rather than $50,000 usage. It's a very different ballpark, but still happy to take the below the line work because we all need to eat. Okay, and the next one, which is to do with, again, the licensing, is perpetuity. When someone wants something in perpetuity, that means they want it forever for whatever they want to use it for. You can still put it in your portfolio unless it's been arranged separately. And this is UK based. You might do it differently in the States, but this is how we always do it. But they have it forever. That means there'll be no relicensing. If someone gets an above the line with 3 years usage, year 4, if they use it again, you bill them for the whole whack again, and it is good times. There's nothing better than relicensing works. It's kind of free money, but or at least unexpected money. But there we go. But yes, perpetuity, that's always a big payout. That is normally in the hundreds of thousands for a big brand. It is your golden egg for the year. So whenever anyone says that, you start to go, yes, this is going to be a big shoot, but also they're going to have big expectations. This has got to be perfect. And I mean really perfect, like to the letter. It's got to be the best work you've produced all year. Okay, and a bit of a bonus term here, and this is digital capture, and this is something we invoice for big shoots. And digital capture means just that. It is the writing of the images onto the memory stick or onto the hard drive or whatever it may be. You normally bill your client a few £100s for this to cover the costs of hard drives. And that's just something you can line item in your invoice. I'm going to do a whole video on how we invoice at some point in the future. And also a bit more on the usage and some example quotes for different emails I've had in the past, which are now so old that I don't think they'll cause any upset. So if you do want to see that sort of thing, do hit subscribe because I'll be up in the next few weeks, all being well. If you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like me to see make videos on, drop it in the comments below and I'll speak to you all next time. Bye-bye.